Hey, welcome back folks, it's Revolt here, bringing you day 10 of uploading a video every day until I get to 50 subscribers. Today we are adding textures, so I made a to-do list, and today we're going to be doing the UV maps and the textures, I think. Can't remember completely. So what you want to do is click on your first one, click new, then name it by just clicking the little box, then go to the next one of the same type, then load it like this. Now you can do this in any order you want, call it whatever you want, like that. Then pineapple. The order you do it in doesn't matter, what you call them doesn't matter, as long as all the pineapples, as long as all the pieces of pineapple you share the same texture, and all the pieces of ham and mushrooms and things just share the same texture between them. And I clicked the wrong button. So in case you accidentally do that, you just click the X and then the menu like that. And then let me do the ham. Ham like that. Alright, so now that we have the textures over here done, what we want to do is we want to go to UV editing, then just press full stop period on the number pad to focus on the object. Make sure to click on one of the mushrooms before doing this. If you didn't, then just press tab, click on a mushroom, press tab again, and then just go into this view. So what you need to do is press A, and then that should be showing up over here. I don't know why it isn't. I know why. What you need to do is press A and then unwrap. No, you don't. What you need to do is, if I can remember how to do this properly, select line, go there, right click, mark, nope, mark, seam, again tab, click on the next one, press tab, click on the edge, right click, mark seam, tab, click on the next one, tab, left click, right click, mark seam, tab, tab, left click, right click, mark seam. And now we have that. What you can do is A and then press U and click unwrap. But as you can see, that does not work. So what you want to do is go into face mode, click on the top, press H, click again, press H, press A, press U, unwrap. Like that. And then Alt H, click on the top, Shift click on the bottom, press U, unwrap. Or actually, Hue projection. So then press tab, click on the next one, H, A, U, unwrap, or Hue projection is actually probably a better idea for that. I will quickly do that for this one. Like that. Then just press tab. So now Alt H to unhide everything. So click on the top, Shift click on the bottom, Hue projection, tab, new next one, A, click on the top face, H, click again, H, A, U, Hue projection, Alt H, click on the top, Shift click on the bottom, U, Hue protection, tab, click the next one, press tab, click on the top, H, click on the bottom, H, A, U, Hue projection, Alt H, click on the top, Shift click on the bottom, Hue projection. There we go. So now what we want to do is go over to the shading tab, and this doesn't matter too much, but what you want to do quickly is, go over to edit, preferences, then go into add-ons and search up Node Wrangler, and just click the little tick, so it will be like that for you, and just click there, and then you can just close it. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to click on the principal BSDF, hold down Control, press T, and it automatically maps out the image texture. Then what we want to do is click open, and then what you have to do is, it is not showing this view. Let me go over to display. Here we go. Then what you want to do is go over to is navigate to your pictures folder, which I have done here, and then you just want to click on mushroom, open image. And this would be the image which you downloaded off of the internet. So now that you have that open, why is it showing a 2? I do not know. Oh, I know why. Now that you have that open, if you go through, as you can see, the mushroom appears on all the mushrooms. So now, click on one of the mushrooms. We'll start with this top one. Go over to UV editing, and as you can see, it shows this on the side. Or if it doesn't, then what you need to do is go over to face select. So that's that one there. Click on the top, shift click on the bottom, and then you have it like that. What you want to do is just scale, and then you can also use the X, Y buttons to scale to the correct place. And then just match it up as close as you can. Like that. And now what you can do is up here, turn on proportional editing, and then zoom into the dots. Remember, highlight them, don't just click on them. Otherwise you'll only do one of them rather than both. And then just bring this in so that it kind of matches the. And then just use the scroll to change the size of this. Just bring it in so that it closely matches the mushroom. Now, little tip, if you can't get it to perfectly match, it's better to have it on the inside of the mushroom than the outside. So just of here, it's better to go on the inside rather than the outside. Otherwise you'll just have lines going around the edge, which you don't want. So once you do this, then you have this bit here, just do this, like that. Just try to remember where all of it is. Oh, that's actually wrong. That just there. And then remember, you don't have to have proportional editing on the entire time. So you can then do this, just go through manually doing it, and just try to match it to the picture behind as closely as possible. Okay, so once you have it done like that, then you can move on to the next. So actually, no, what you want to do is press A, and then when you press A over here on the right, what you want to do is actually shift click on the top, shift click on the bottom, and now you have just the edge. Press R, you can either type in 90 or you don't have to, and then scale on the X, like that, and just position that somewhere in towards the core of the mushroom, so that if I go over here to texture view mode, which is just this one here, or dev view I think it's actually called, it shows a slight bit of texture on the edge rather than just being just white like the rest of it. So press tab, go to the next one, tab, and then it should, if the top and bottom aren't selected, just left click, shift left click, make sure you're in face select mode. And then you only need to do this for the mushrooms because they're the only ones with a complex geometry and an image texture. So go ahead, do the rest of them. Alright, so when you get to the last one, or in this case the first one, which is most likely bleh, which is the one which I didn't do any transformation to. What I can do is I can perfectly get this to match just by using scale and not moving any individual vertices, which are the points. I can get that to match almost perfectly like that. And then just shift click A, nope, shift click A, shift click, there we go, A over here, R90, scale Y, and then just position it slightly off center, and then like that. Then as you can see, we have mushrooms. Now to get on with the pineapple. Actually, before we get on with the pineapple, we need to do some more to the mushroom. So here I have a picture of when I made when I went through and made the entire pizza already. That's what you see on the thumbnail today for today's episode, I think, hopefully, if I remember. I don't know. What was I going to say? But yeah, what we need to do is we need to add the normal map to the mushroom, which just makes it look a little bit more realistic. So what we need to do is we need to go here. Let me go back to just that, and then drag G, move it across, Shift A, bump, and then just left click on the little dot, drag over to the other little dot where it says normal, like that. And what we need is a Hue Saturation Node. So what you can do here is just hold down Alt, hold down right click, and drag it across. Although we want that down into height. And then what we can do, move those across, hold down Control, hold down Shift, right click, drag it across there, and you get another point. Then hold down Alt, right click on the point, right click down to here, and it takes it down to there. And now, as you can see, the mushrooms have their normal map. Now, at the moment, this looks horrible. So what we need to do is we need to change these settings down here. So this one here we can leave the same, but this one, we want to put this down to 0.025, like that. And then that's without, that's without, that's with, without, within, without, with, and it just adds a slight bit of texture and a bit more realism. Next, we're going to do the ham, as the pineapple we're going to leave to last, as that is one of the hardest to do. Okay, so for the ham, it's basically the same. Control T, we get an image texture. Open, go to pictures, and then ham. I will hopefully have one for these down in the description. Now, if I can find the ham, let me have a look. Oh, I know where I put this. It's in there. And scroll down. Ham. There we go. Open image. And now we have an image of ham. So what we actually need to do is go to UV editing. And then here we have the ham. Just scale it down, move it across, and position it on the ham. And now, looks like a piece of ham. But we need to do that for all of them. So press tab, click on the next one, press tab, A, scale that down, drag it across, shade it. You don't need to go back to shading. So tab, A, scale, move it across. So over here, tab, left click, tab, A over here, scale down, drag it across like that. And now they all look like ham. Now we need to add in the bump map again. So bump. We also need hue and saturation. Like that. And then we need another one of these. Drag that down there. Put that into there. Drag that down into there. And then it looks horrible. We'll fix that in a minute. Let me just drag these down. And then this one needs to be at 0.015. So it gives it a slight bit of bump. So that's without. That's with, without, with. It looks much better when we actually go to render it. That looks horrible on the side there. What you might want to do is actually do a Q projection. Nope, never mind, you don't want to do that. So just Control Z. But yeah, it looks horrible on the side, but doesn't really matter too much. And then what you might want to do is, so left click, shift click, drag it up. Actually, we dragged that to the wrong place. So Control X to delete. You can just press X normally, but if you press X, it just does that. Whereas if you press Control X, it reconnects it afterwards. So now what we want to do is we want to change this to 0.7, 1.1, and then that just makes it look a little bit nicer. So without, with, just makes it look a little bit more pinkish like ham. So now the next one is the pepperoni. This one's a little bit more complicated. So, because Pepperoni has that little edge around it, so what we're going to do is Control T, G, open up the Pepperoni. I might link this down in the description, I can't remember. And then what we want to do is we want to change values on this one here, and we want to change them to, we want an object instead of UV, so just drag object. This is easier to work with in certain cases. So what we want is 0.15. If you're using the one I'm using, then these are the ones you want. If not, just mess about with these until the Pepperoni fills it up properly. 0.2, and then 0.3, 0.4. And as you can see, this hasn't worked as exactly the same. So what you can do is just do that, and then 0.14. There we go, and then 0.25. There we go. And now we have that. So now we have to do some bit of math. We don't do the math, luckily the computer does the math. So what we need to do is we need a, if I can remember how to do this, add mix. No, here's a mix RGB. And then what you want to do is you want to put that there and change that to multiply. And then what we need is we need a hue and saturation over here. So what we need to do is this one needs to be at 0.6. And then what we need is we need another one of these. So Shift D, put this down here. Shift right click, make a new point like that, put that up into there, and then change the values of this one to 0.5. Now you can mess around with all these settings if you want to, that's up to you. Then we need another hue saturation. This is for the bump, then add in the bump. So just use scroll to zoom in and out. I don't think I said that yet. Adds the bump, and then we want to change this to 0.035. So then it adds just a slight little bit of bump without with. And now what we want to do is that. Then we need a vector math. Add that to there, and then change that to length. Then we need a normal math. Put that to there and change this to greater than. And we want to change this to 0.39. And then take this and put that up there to the factor. Now, as you can see, it hasn't worked well on all of these. And I don't actually know why that is. Oh wait, yes I do. What we want to do is we want to click on that, Shift D, put that there, and set that to 0. I think. I have no clue why this isn't working. So that should be working, but that's not working. Oh, I know why. We need to set that to 0. Set those to 1. And then that centers it, and set that to 0. And now this should be working. Yep, there you go. You can see it has the little circle in the middle. So then just increase this so you get what you want. Probably 0.42, 0.45. it depends on what kind of look you're going for. 0.75, nope, 0.475, I meant 0.475, like that. And there we go, we have the ring around the edge of the pepperoni, like that. Now for the hard one, the pineapple. This is the hardest one of all, as you can see from this really complicated node setup. So let's get on with this. Luckily, actually no, this one does have a image texture. So I thought only the mushroom did, but I forgot I added image textures. So open, get the pineapple texture. I can't remember which one it was I used. I think it was this one. Yeah, it was. Then drag those over to the side. Drag that over. We're not going to make it all look all fancy like I did with this, with all the perfect angles and stuff. I just made it like that so it's easier for me to see. So what we need to do now is, let me just sort my stuff. This needs to be that. And then we need to change the values of this to negative 1.76. 0.08. Your settings will differ slightly. And then what you can do is left click, drag up, and then you can adjust them all at once. There we go, pineapple. And then just change it until it looks how you want it to look. And yes, it's the lines on the side are partially on purpose or whatever. You can change it, but then the values will have to change as well. So now what we need to do is we need another mapping. So Shift D, drag that down, and this one is now an object thingy. And then that goes into a magic texture. Like that. Then change that to 1. Change that to 2. And then we need a color ramp. Drag that down there. You can drag either of them, but color gives a little bit more data. Drag that to the middle. Then displacement. Drag that to the height. And then just take that over to displacement over there. Drag that down. Then you need to change the scale on this. No, you need to change this. Put all these to 0. That's a 136. Or whatever it is, so that it's oriented properly on the side. I can't remember what I had it at. 135. Nope. 135. Select 0. Yeah, I don't know. And then set those to 10. There we go, 135, so that's vertical lines. Just like that. That looks much better when you actually have it rendering out from a distance, because it just gives it that slight bit of pineapple look. Although you might want to change that down a little bit, maybe. I don't know, it's up to you. I'll put that at 7 for now. Then what we need is Hue Saturation Nodes. So Hue Saturation. And we need 2 of them, so one there, one there. We also need the bump. Put that into height. Put that down there. Put that down into the normal. This is going to be a really long video today. Then we need to change this to 0.16, I think. No, it's 0.03. 0.03. There we go. Now, with the other one, that kind of doesn't look that good, but go into here, normal, auto smooth. That'll make it look a bit better when we finally render it out, which is this, but as we have no lighting or anything, it's not going to look good at the moment. So on this other one, we need to set this to 0.5. And then we need a glass BSDF. Put that up there, and then we need a mix shader. Like that. Put that there, because if we add it to the glass, we don't want it to be completely transparent. We don't want it to be completely opaque, because Pineapple is not like that. So we want it about there. And then that is this one done, I think. We can also take that roughness down. Leave it at that. Now that's the pineapple done, I think. Yeah, that's the pineapple done. So we did the textures, and that's it for today. Because the textures for the pizza sauce and pizza base is really complicated. So let's go to this. Go to layout. We can say we've done all that. And then tomorrow we're going to do the sauce. And then we're done. We're not done at all, because we have all this other stuff. But yeah, ignore those two at the bottom. Don't need to do that. Oh, also, little bit of just making this look a bit nicer. What you can do is you can right click. You can just change the colors of these. So you can make it look a little bit nicer if you want to. And what you might want to do is make a new one. So if you click on the bottom one, shift click on the top, drag those inside of there. And then, because we're going to have two, we're going to have one which is going to be these ones here. And then we're going to have one which is the duplications. So just have that. Well, that's it for today. We made the textures. You can mess about with those textures, make them look a bit nicer if you want to. But yeah, that's all for today. And that was a almost half-hour video. These were supposed to be like 5-minute long videos every day. Why that's long? Okay, bye.